Hello, everyone. I am so excited here for another episode of Plug into Devin. Today, we've got Dr. Wendy Davis with us. She's running for the House seat in House District number 45, and she recently completed her Ph.D. in political science. She's a mother of four and a grandmother of seven. An amazing guest. You don't want to miss her. Stick around. Wendy, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Devin. Thanks for having me.
The pleasure and the honor is all ours. So tell us, what do you want to talk about today?
There's a lot of things on my mind, but probably one of the things most pressing on my mind is affordable communities in our cities and state.
How do we go about creating affordable communities?
It's a really good question. I think it's a complicated problem and challenging to unpack, but there are a couple of key elements that have been brought to my attention, things that I've noticed that are persistent challenges. Things such as affordable housing, especially in Utah on the Wasatch Front. I have a son who is moving away from the Wasatch Front because it's very difficult to find housing. It's not difficult to find housing, it's difficult to find affordable housing. And I have to tell you, as a grandmother, that breaks my heart, not being able to see him and his wife and the children as much. I think it also relates to wages in our state. And we are fantastic at attracting big business and different companies and incentivizing them. But that economic prosperity doesn't always trickle down to the folks who are providing the labor for those businesses. I also notice a lot of food insecurity on the Wasatch Front, and that seems like a solvable problem with an economy that does well in a non-pandemic state. That seems like something that we shouldn't be dealing with here, but yet we do very consistently.
Yeah. Well, these are fascinating problems, and it seems like there are some ways that we can address this. When you think about wages, we don't have to worry too much about how much our full stack programmers are getting paid in Silicon Slopes, but the people who clean their houses, the people that make their food and deliver it, maybe not so much. What do you think we do to protect those folks?
It's a really good question, and the tech example resonates with me. I've been in ed tech my whole career, so that is a space that I'm familiar with. And I know that it is challenging to find those professionals here in Utah that can fill the demand. We've had that at my place of employment. I also am a consumer of a lot of services. Folks who we all enjoy that, whether that's house cleaning services or window cleaning services, carpet cleaning services, some of the privileges, but not just service professionals. I think anyone who continues to measure their success by a dollar rate is challenged in that. And there's nothing wrong with an hourly rate, by the way. It's very admirable to be able to have a job and to be able to keep that job. But I think that the challenge is a mathematical awareness. I know that sounds a little strange, but let's break it down for a moment. Let's say that you are someone making $17 an hour. That sounds really great, right? $10 more, almost $10 more than the minimum wage. It's about $35,000 a year. Let's say liberally, you pay $5,000 in taxes, which probably isn't realistic, and that leaves you with $30,000 a year. If you have rent plus expenses or a mortgage plus expenses, and I'm just talking basic household, electricity, gas, garbage, water, sewer, we're about $2,000 a year. That's $24,000 a year. It leaves you $6,000 a year. It's suddenly very clear why, while even a wage at something in the high teens or low 20s is making it terribly unaffordable for us in Utah. So I'm identifying the problem. The solutions aren't easy. The solutions require bold action, making sure that workers are protected, that we have higher wages, that as we incentivize companies, that we're also challenging them to make sure that they are providing fair wages for the folks who are working for them. And that's across all industries, right? Not just service industry or my friends and family who have hourly jobs. And that includes my husband, by the way. He's in that category as well.
Yeah. Well, that's such powerful insights, Wendy. I really appreciate you taking the time to come and chat with me today. Before you go, I want to ask you one last question. What is
Sure.
What is your superpower?
Oh, goodness. What is my superpower? That's a tricky question. I have really good mom radar. I can pretty much sniff out when somebody's not telling me the truth. And I often make opinions about that. Sometimes that's not a great superpower, but oftentimes I'm right about that. I don't know if that's a great
I
superpower or
think that's a
not.
good superpower. That's a great superpower. Well, Dr. Wendy Davis, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us. Before you go, tell people how they can find your campaign website.
Thank you. Yes, you can find me online at wendydavisutah.com. I also go by the handle Wendy Davis Utah on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Those are the best ways to get a hold of me.
Fantastic. All righty, Wendy. We want to wish you every success in making housing more affordable in Utah.
Great. Thank you so much.
All righty. Let's do some good.
I'm Devin Thorpe. For the last 8 years, I've been working full-time to eradicate extreme poverty, improve global health, and fight climate change. I've concluded that the best way for me to continue my work is to run for Congress to represent the people of Utah's 3rd District. In Utah, we have common shared values. Those things unite us. I believe passionately in our ability to come together, and I believe that working together, we can solve Utah's problems. I'm Devin Thorpe. I'm a Democrat. I'm running to represent the people of Utah's 3rd District.
I'm Devin Thorpe, a candidate for Congress, and I approve this message.